Hello, welcome back to the Art House Podcast. Of course, I'm your host again, Monte, and today I have a very special guest, RJ.
Okay.
So, I want the audience to really get to know a little bit about you.
Yeah.
But first, I would just start off by saying RJ is a wonderful, phenomenal filmmaker. I don't know if you guys have ever seen his short film. It's called Love Me. Um, and yeah, I recently met him. Well, I didn't even recently met him. I met him when I was at SCAD. For those of you who don't know the school, it's Savannah College of Art Design. I was a film major. And you were in the Black uh, Film Student Association.
No, I was in the Black Film Club.
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
God. I don't know where I got
And,
the rest of that from. But
and,
yeah,
let me just say, I'm the founder too. So
yeah,
yeah.
yes, he is. So yeah, but yeah, just talk a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, my name's RJ Easy. Been making films so many years. I got interested in filmmaking when I was 12, and I watched Lord of the Rings in the theaters, and that like kind of blew my mind. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh wait, you can like they build worlds and stories and everything. And I was like, oh wait, is this a job? Because I always thought film was just film. But then it just hit me. I was like, wait, people needs to make this. So that really got into it, and then started filmmaking when I was 15. Got to learn the practicals and how everything works.
Mhm.
And then yeah, then I moved to the States. Actually, before that, I worked on a few TV shows back in Bristol. That's where I'm
Mhm.
from. And had a good time there. Met a lot of great people. But then my parents got a green card. And
Mhm.
so we're moving to the States. And I was like, you know what? If we're moving, let me see what's going on. So moved to Orlando, was there for a little while.
Mhm.
Went to film school there at UCF. Had a blast, and then yeah, then I went up here. Saw that there's a film program at SCAD. I was like interested. I was like, let me see what this is about.
Mhm.
Applied, got in, and yeah, now I graduated, and that's that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was your first film when you were 15?
When I was 15, my first film,
Mhm. You said you
um,
started when you was 15.
yeah, I would. My the very first film I remember is called I See, and it's like
Mhm.
a poem I wrote about
Mhm.
the city I live.
Mhm.
And it was an interesting, it was like an avant-garde kind of style film. Um
Mhm.
and I liked it. The annoying thing what I learned very early is once people start messing with your film, it
Yeah.
kind of loses that like uniqueness that you're
Yeah.
trying to go for. So I learned that from the very first film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say yeah, IC was my first film that really like I filmed it, I edited it, did
Mhm.
the audio and saw it, and I was very proud of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's my first film, and then it just grew from there.
Okay. And so that process, like, was it just an idea that like popped up in your head and then you were just like, I'm just gonna go for it? Or was it like something to where like you thought about it, but then like you were maybe hesitant about it? Because I know sometimes like with films, like
Mhm.
it's kind of like when you have that idea, sometimes depending on you either want to go for it or it's like, I don't really want to go for it right now.
No, I feel you. If I recall, because it was a while back, but if I recall, don't, I didn't really sense any hesitation. It was
Mhm.
more, um, well, we had to make a film because, as you know, scratch that. I was
Mhm.
jumping ahead with my next film. Um, no, I went to this like center for kids to explore and experiment and see what they want to do.
Mm,
and they were just asking, do you have any ideas or whatever. I really just want to do work because how I normally work is I work with what I have with me, what I have right
yeah.
now, and what I can see and what I can grab.
Hmm.
So I basically just told them I've got this. And
Hmm.
so I can use my surroundings. And then I also said, how can I make a story out of that? And then I was like, I can make a small poem telling about the love of the city that I
Hmm.
am in. So that was really it. And yeah, it wasn't really no hesitation. It was more just like, I got a concept, I got an idea, let me fulfill this goal. And yeah, like I know some people might think it's trash, but for my first film, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of it. So yeah.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because always like when you first start out and then because a lot of times when you start off with like film, a lot of times people don't get the opportunity to really finish it because sometimes, like kind of like what you said, like sometimes when you allow other people to come in, it can kind of ruin the film, and then you eventually stop working on it. Because I
Yeah.
knew that for my first film that I created, it was actually a TV show series that I created, the
Okay.
first film, and then I didn't really put it out because I didn't like it. I was doubting
Oh,
myself too much, and I think people have to really understand like it. Once you like create art, you have to put it out. Once you put it out,
yeah.
it's no longer yours anymore.
Yeah.
So regardless if you may think that it's a bad project, other people might not think it's a bad project.
Yeah.
And it's also important to be able to show people how you started.
Yeah.
Because,
So that transitional period of
mhm,
where you come from and now where you're at right now. So
exactly, exactly.
yeah, that's good.
So, so you went from writing, you went from doing your first film at 15, and
Mhm.
then what was your next project after that?
Next project was I kind of started to explain earlier is I went to a film camp.
Hmm.
And I believe I was still 15 or probably 16, something like that. I forgot.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot what I made. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just I just remember having a great time. I
Yeah,
was having a great time. I was learning so much about films, how
yeah,
they were made. Had some like amazing directors there. I
yeah,
forgot what I made, but it was a good time. I just remember
yeah.
having a good time. But my next film after that,
Hmm.
um, it was like a year later, because I'm still in school and doing other things.
Yeah,
Um, I went back a year later and I was trying to make a music video.
yeah,
And my whole goal was trying to make this music video, focus on it, do what we have to do. So I tried my best to make it, but I'm not gonna lie, I was 16, I was being lazy. And I was like, oh yeah, I can get it done afterwards. I can get this done afterwards. It was only when it was too late and
mm-hmm.
everyone was like premiering their films, I didn't finish it.
Hmm.
And that made me like sad because it made me realize how important it is to like stick with a project. You can't just film it and like take your time.
Yep,
So I learned very quick that filming is something that you really have to focus on
yeah,
and make it as very important as possible, especially for your own art.
yeah,
So, because no one else will care, no one else will care,
yeah.
and yeah, so I was like a little bit like upset about it. So, yeah, that's my film. Yeah, that's my film. But yeah, in the beginning, I mostly just did music videos and
Yeah.
um, back in Bristol, where I'm from. So I did that for a while.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, and working with artists is they're frustrating. I'm not gonna lie.
God, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Working with
What
artists is something different.
always is something like every single time I tell them the time, I'm like, bro, like, I'm gonna be here at this time. Please
Hmm.
don't be late. They'd be like, no worries, I got you. I'm like, cool.
Hmm.
Man, I remember waiting for 4 hours for one person.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he had the audacity to say, "I'm ready, let's go." I'm like, "Let's go." No,
Like you 4 hours late. Where are you talking about? Let's go.
no, you wasting my time. No, I don't work like that. So I told him no. And then I made a music video. I made a few, but I remember the last music video I made. This is when I was like 19, 18, 19. I made one other music video, and I said the time, I said, "Bro, please don't be late. I'm not gonna mess about."
Mhm.
I said, I got you, I got you. I'm like looking in his eye, I'm like looking into him, I'm like, "You're lying to me." So I made it an initiative to wake up mad early, and
Yeah.
I got to his place because I said, "Meet me at this place at 7 a.m. because
Hmm.
it's gonna be a long shoot."
Yeah.
I went to his place at probably like 6 in the
Hmm.
morning, and I was like just knocking the door, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, man." Yeah. And then the mom answered. I'm saying, "What's going on?" Like, "Yeah, I
Hmm.
need, I need your son."
Yeah.
And she
We
was
got
like,
work to do.
"Yeah, we got work to do." And she was like, "Well, he's sleeping." I'm like, "Okay, let me say why one." So I just knocked on the door, and and the mom was like, "Oh yeah," then like he was with his girlfriend, right?
Hmm.
And like I'm not trying to be like explicit, but like
Yeah.
obviously they were doing something the night before, so like they were both like naked and all that. And I
Hmm.
just woke him up. I'm like, "Bro, we need to get going." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "No, we need to start work." I'm like, "No, it's too early." I'm like, "I don't care."
Yeah. Yeah.
This
That
is
is
your music video. I don't care. So the girlfriend was getting pissed. I'm like, "Yo, tell him to go outside." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be outside, but I'll be back inside in like 2, 3 minutes if you don't get a move on." So like he got ready, we got out, we went to our location, filmed there, made a decent music video. We got a few thousand views. It was decent. And
yeah.
um and then after that we were like, "Cool, let's
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, my boy produced it. I made a music video. We was trying to promote him, but the bastard's kind of lazy anyway. So yeah,
Yeah. Work with
yeah,
artists
yeah,
is
yeah,
it's a hassle. I don't
yeah.
think personally I'm gonna do an artist again. I went down
Uh,
that route, and it's
I
just mm,
I'm going to let you know the last two was equally as annoying, and I did it for
yeah.
SCAD. Um,
Um,
I ma- I made one for. I don't know if you know her. Her name is called Yanni B. You might know her, maybe. No.
mhm.
She does the MFA, but
Uh-huh.
um, I did try to do a music video. She arrived 2 hours late, and I'm
Oh.
like, but what was great was I had such a quick turnaround. I had
Mhm.
such a quick turnaround, so we only filmed for um, I think we had it for like 10 hours. I think we filmed for like 6 hours
Mhm.
altogether. So we was in and out. Like it was like great. It was like, all right, next shot, next shot, next shot. And
Yeah.
we got the footage. But the
Mhm.
last one was super annoying because the XR stage was only open for 6 hours. And I said, I want to make a
Mhm.
music video in the XR stage. And I said, we
Yeah.
only have 6 hours. So please don't mess about. And I said, this is my concept, this is my ideas. We got a lot of shots. This mother arrived 2 hours late.
Oh my
And
God.
and then he got annoyed with me because we couldn't fit all the shots in. I'm like, you got yourself to blame. There's no
Like,
there's no one else here, bro. Like this is all
it's a
you. Like I know you wanted your whole ideas, but I'm not
yeah.
being a dick. Like I'm not.
Yeah, like you're literally running out of time. And,
Yeah.
it, and that's the other thing that people just don't understand. Like people don't understand the importance of like time is money and money is time. Once
Yeah.
that time is up, that time is up. You
That
can't
time is
if you get
up.
another if you get an extension, you're lucky.
Yeah.
But usually like with films, you're on a tight budget. Because like me,
Hmm.
I'm a executive producer, So I'm already dishing out money, and then you're 2 hours late. I'm going to be extremely pissed because now I have to pay the rest of these people if I need to extend for their time. Then I have to
Yeah.
extend the production set and some more stuff. So I just from that I learned to be stern. Like I have to.
Yeah, you have
To
to be. People say producers and directors are dicks, but like at the end of the day, if you're there not on time, then we're just gonna be moving on, like for real, for real.
exactly.
Like, you
And
know,
if you're
like
not there on time, I'm gonna get in your ass because
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I've dealt with that so much. Another thing too is communication.
yeah,
Uh, communication on set is very important. I think a lot of people don't understand that, especially communication amongst like production sets, like against like with people in the crew. I feel like that communication has to be strong.
yeah.
Was there ever a moment in time where like you had to deal with like communication issues, or was it just like smooth?
Um, oh, so let me start. I would say from the beginning, I was scared, right?
Mhm.
Because I already had a background doing film and as my bachelor at UCF,
Yeah.
which was cool.
Mhm.
Um, but I really wanted to go to the next level, so I went to SCAD. And I say in the beginning was a little difficult because people would just hear something and they wouldn't like grasp what I'm saying or how
Mhm.
important I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to do. And
Mhm.
so it made me realize how to like communicate differently.
Yeah.
And I would say it was a lot to learn. We learned a lot. Trust me, there was a lot of missteps along the way. But for my thesis, when I got to my thesis, it was smooth.
Mhm.
Because we over organized. Thankfully, my producer was there from pre-production.
Mhm.
So my producer was always there. And so I didn't have to actually look for a producer. So we was in the same class together. And we over organized
Mhm.
to make sure everything was smooth because it was a 6 day shoot. We was traveling to Macon,
Mhm.
um, and there was just a lot of issues that we had to make sure we didn't want to mess up.
Mhm.
So it was only when we finished filming. No, no, it was only when we like started rolling. Um, Everything went like pretty smooth. There was no days we like started and then we ended and there was no issues. It was pure communication. It was very clear. No one
Mhm.
didn't know what it was doing. I say the only day we messed up was day 5, and
Mhm.
we was an hour and a half late over.
Mhm. Mhm.
The 6 days it was, but then the very next day,
Mhm.
we planned for a 6 hour shoot,
Mhm.
um, but we was done in 4. So, that kind of made up for that anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's basically the whole thing. So yeah, I would say over the times and over learning, I learned how to communicate more
Mhm.
and understand the presence of others, and because everyone communicates differently. And
Yeah.
so I really had to make sure everyone that I was working with, I knew them before
Yeah.
and how they communicate was
Yeah.
well. So after like working with the crew for like 3, 4 times on previous films, it
Mhm.
was more comfortable knowing how they operate and how I operate, and it just meshed like more seamlessly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And then, because with communication, like sometimes you think that, because usually like how you're talking like on the outside, right? You think that people understand it, but everybody is different. And that's something that
yeah,
I also understood too. So it's also like learning how to talk to an individual person, learning how to communicate in a way that works for that person.
yeah,
Um, and sometimes you may have to learn it quick if they're new. Sometimes you've known them for a long time, so it's kind of like, okay, I kind of know how to what I need to say, or because some people they're very like they're very like analytical, so they're
Mhm.
very like straight to the point, like tell me what you need, tell me what you want. Others you have to really explain it a little bit more, and
Yeah.
then they can be able to understand it from there. But I know you talked a little bit about your thesis film, how the production process worked. What was the inspiration behind your thesis film?
Love Me. You saw it, right? Did you see it?
I did not. I'm actually gonna see it. Like, right, right after. Yeah, I did everything else but look at that.
Yes, okay. That's funny. I'll send you a link afterwards. So can you repeat the question, please?
So, what was the inspiration behind Love Me?
Oh, the inspiration, yeah. So the inspiration came from um like I said, I like to write what I have at a
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't say my films are, I'll say I'm a decent writer. Okay, I'm lying. I'm a good writer. I'm a good writer.
Yeah,
I'm all about I'm
gotta
all
give
about
yourself
getting
credit.
yeah. I'm all about getting the emotional impact on a
Mhm.
story than anything else. So I really want people to like feel something and feel
Mhm.
the characters and what
Mhm.
they're going through and follow their journey. So it doesn't really matter what the location is, it's more about how how the person feels. And I was very inspired by uh there's like lots of things that was inspired me, but one of them was there was an episode on, I don't know if you know what Doctor Who is, but I was watching one episode of Doctor Who,
Yeah.
and it was like it's like a one man kind of show. He was like the
Uh-huh.
only one talking. Like there was other characters there, but
Yeah.
everyone was talking. So that was my inspiration. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Hmm.
And then there was only because I was planning to film this at my undergrad, and
Hmm.
so I wrote a script where he's really talking to himself, but the
Hmm.
wife kept on saying like, love me, and like he's explaining like why he doesn't need to go all out,
Hmm.
because they got the money, they got the car, they got this and that, and then he wakes up. So like it's supposed to be, it was very simple. That's the very first draft.
Yeah.
um then once I started, then it didn't happen at my undergrad,
Hmm.
COVID. So yeah.
Yeah.
And so once I went to SCAD,
Hmm.
I told some people my ideas and I already had the script, and that's the other thing. People write their scripts mad late at SCAD, for the thesis, or they don't know what to write about.
Yeah.
Um, which is, I know, it's crazy. So I already had a script, and so that was my advantage. And the whole 2 years I was there, I was kept on like telling other classes and other people what my script needed and what didn't. And it changed a lot, but it still had the same moral story.
Hmm.
So set up a studio, it's in the XR stage. There's a lot more flashbacks,
Hmm.
a lot more certain topics that we dive deeper into, like his relationship with his father,
Hmm.
and like, yeah, like him deciding and choosing what's more important and what's not. So
Hmm.
yeah, we made that script. Um, and then once we like finalized everything,
Hmm.
yeah, we was just, it was more just planning and just organizing. But yeah, that's like the main inspiration. Just like it started off like very, very simple, just him in one room in one
Hmm.
studio with some lights and making a small short film. And
Yeah.
then it turned into this like big traveling up and down,
Yeah.
7, 8 locations. You know what I mean? There was a lot going on. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because what a lot of people don't understand is how you start when you're writing a film is not always how you're going to finish. Like
Yeah.
when you start, the only thing that you have to hold on to is the concept. After
Yeah.
that's really it. Like everything else, once you keep going with it, like everything else is gonna fall into place. I recently I did a music visual. I want to say it was like a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
My audience knows it's Inclusify, but with that music visual, it literally just started off because I wanted to do a live performance, debut in my
Okay.
company.
Okay.
So it went from that to that not working out to it becoming a full on 7 minute music visual with like all
Okay.
these different amazing sets. And then it went from that to being in a film festival, an Oscar qualifying film festival, which
That's all.
which I would have never like imagined
Mm-hmm.
ever. Um, but it just goes to show you like you can always start off with just the concept. That's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything fall into place.
Yeah. For sure.
So
Yeah. No, continue.
yeah, you can keep going.
No, I was just like expanding from that and being like, yeah, it's always just the most simplest ideas.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, it's not how you start. Like, I'm currently writing a new script right now.
yeah,
Um, and I would tell you it's I don't know if you listen to Kendrick Lamar.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So it's of one of his songs called "How Much a Dollar Costs,"
Mm-hmm.
and I just love the every time I hear that song, I always see the visuals.
Yeah,
But it's a song, not a film. And I
yeah.
was like, how can I expand this into a film, like into a
Mm-hmm.
short film? So I expanded it with more characters. The concepts are the same, and like how it ends, it's very sudden. There's like no real conclusion. So
Yeah.
I made like a conclusion and something like trying to still be faithful to what Kendrick wrote, but still
Mm.
having my own style. So um yeah, it's always like there's always an idea or something, and then you can always board yourself and expand on it and do some more stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then how was your experience, like your whole experience at SCAD? Like what was that like?
Oh, Scott.
Mhm.
Um, it was interesting. I'm gonna tell you the very truth.
Yeah.
The very hold on. The very first day, I um I thought I made a mistake
Mhm.
because I'm thinking, oh, this is masters, so people obviously knows how to make a film or they already done something. So that's me just being ignorant.
Yeah.
And then I just started watching like people's films.
Yeah.
And when I mean, and again, it was like I did a MFA, but I was in 501,
Mhm.
and I was just like looking at the student films, and I'm like, bro, these are pretty bad. Like I won't say this person's name, but there's this one film somebody made, and the
Mhm.
professor said they will not move the camera, make sure it's on a tripod, and do
Mhm.
not use you can use music, but don't let the music inspire the film, right? Very
Mhm.
clear things that the professors told us to do.
Yeah.
This motherfucker didn't use a tripod.
Oh my God. That's
just
the
use a
first.
handheld.
Uh,
Just use a handheld.
mhm.
Two, to use music to inspire for the film. So I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, what are you doing?
You did the exact opposite. Oh my
And
goodness.
I know the professor said only have like two characters. He had three people in his film, and like it
Oh.
wasn't clear. It was a total mess. And I'm like, bro, like we're all looking at him like sideways, like not to make him feel any type of way, but it was like, let's just say this. I haven't laughed so hard in my life that day. And I wasn't trying to make him feel bad. But
Yeah.
every student there who was in that room, we were all in tears laughing because it was that funny. Um, so yeah, anyways, He's now a better filmmaker. Trust me, he is. Um, so first time I was like, I think I made a mistake.
Mhm.
Then I met my producer who was in the same class as me, and he went before I did.
Mhm.
And because I wasn't on my very first project, it was like some photo stills.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't go in as hard because I was thinking, these students are okay. So I was like, I didn't go in as hard. And then this guy made a great photographic concept that I've never seen. And I was like, oh, wait, this is amazing. And then, like, I was embarrassed to show mine afterwards. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I
Mhm.
was like, I need to be friends with him.
Mhm.
So we did become very close friends. Like we just spoke like a few hours ago. So
Mhm.
we're still very good friends. But yeah, over time, met some professors. They're kind of strict. But overall it was good. I liked 80% of the professors. There was
Yeah.
two that was
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was there was a there was a view there was a few like newer ones I just did not like, and I don't know if they were just newer, but they was just more ignorant, and how they moved was just very annoying, and so I didn't like them for that.
Yeah.
Like small minded, basically. That's I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
But it was great. Creating a Black Film Club was a thing because. And that idea came from when I was at UCF in
Mhm.
Orlando, because I'm walking around campus and I'm noticing that there's like Black film students, but they're
Yeah.
all separated and they're not together. And so I noticed that. And then, like 2 weeks afterwards, my friend came in a car and said, Yo, like, I feel like we should have a Black film club. I'm like, Girl, I was thinking the exact same thing. And so we So we planned it, and then we made a short film. Wouldn't talk about me, but yeah, we made a short film to promote the club,
Mhm.
and we did that, and it turned out pretty well.
Mhm.
And then we're going to premiere it, but that week, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
when COVID hit, COVID hit, it hit us hard, man.
yeah. I thought we were just gonna be, it was just gonna be over within a week, and
Yeah, that's.
mm,
I think a lot of people thought like the first 2 weeks was like, yeah, that's cool, and then it just wasn't ending. I'm like, bro, like,
yeah.
what's going on?
Mm.
So, yeah, I didn't do that. So once I went to SCAD,
Mhm.
I made sure to create the club, and I will say this now: we started it in 2022, so it's
Mhm.
been 4 years, and we officially have the newest president, and they just showed ATL the movie.
Mhm.
And yeah, the whole new e-board and the whole new team is killing it. I'm hardly there anymore.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just went to see ATL, but that was my first event in the span of like 6 months. I've been
Mhm.
because they're still just doing their own thing, and like I'm just proud of them. So yeah, if they continue, that'll be a nice legacy on my part. But I was
Yeah.
honestly, it's just more or less like Black people. I mean, it's more being Black and then having a community of Black people that loves film is
Mhm.
very niche. Is
Yeah.
very niche.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to make a club that will reflect on the Black people that loves film.
Yeah.
And I made sure not to do a production. That was like the main thing. I don't want to do production for the club. I don't want this to be. This is a club where we can unwind, we can have a community, we can share things for one another, and all that jazz. And so, yeah, that's what's very important for me. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Because I remember when I first came. that it was a very good club because that was my first time because I was a sophomore and I didn't really like know any clubs because like no offense, but like mostly at SCAD it's like Koreans people
Yeah,
and it's a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
yeah, so it's like I didn't really get to see a lot of people like me who made films. So when I first saw the Black Film Club, I was like, "Oh shit, finally, thank God!" Because I'm like, I'm about to lose my mind. I'm like, bro, I'm about to transfer to Georgia State because this is not it. Like, where are my people at? But
No, I
I think
feel you.
I think it's so um I think it's so amazing, especially as Black creators that um we are very unique in how we tell our stories. Like we're very raw. We're very intentional with it. I think that was the part that made me love being around other Black creators. Really was because of that. Um, let's see. I had another question. I have
Go
like
for it.
so many questions.
Yeah, it's all good.
And then let me see. So after you graduated SCAD, right? How was life of a graduate afterwards?
So I'm not gonna lie, I graduated last summer. So
Mhm,
graduated August was my last day, and
mhm,
then I worked as a talent wrangler for um, for a Fox television show,
mhm,
and that was great. But then I was like, suddenly realize, this freelance stuff is cool, but
yeah,
it's not very secure with benefits. And
yes.
so I was like, I probably need something more stable.
Mhm,
So I was like, okay, let me go back to like FedEx because that's what I used to work at. And so
mhm,
let me go back to FedEx. And so I went back to FedEx and they told me it's gonna be 3 months until you get your medical. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can wait. So I was like,
mhm,
okay, this is perfect. Just go do FedEx. Well,
mhm,
still do my film stuff because I was still helping out on sets and other things for other people.
mhm,
And then out of nowhere, I passed out. Uh,
mm,
and then I was like, what's going on? And so I went to the hospital.
mhm,
And that's when they told me, and I don't want to be graphic, but
yeah,
they told me I had a brain tumor. And
mhm,
so that like mentally messed me up
yeah,
because I was like this close to getting health insurance.
yeah,
Um, and I just started FedEx again,
yeah,
and it was just like kind of like heartbreaking. So that happened in February. I had surgery in February.
mhm,
So I don't know when you're going to post this, but it's now May. So it only happened a few months ago. So I haven't really been making that much film content, unfortunately, because I'm being basically just been recovering. Like, thank God I'm still alive and I'm still
yeah,
here.
yeah,
The
yeah,
surgery went well. Um, but yeah, it was just a lot mentally. So I'm probably
mhm,
just gonna have this year off to
yeah,
group. I'm still, like I said, I'm still writing my
yeah,
newest film, and I can help out as much as possible with other people. And
yeah.
I just came from a SCAD alum and I thing. When was it? Like I forgot
I
when
think
it
I know what
was.
event you're talking about.
Like yesterday.
It's so many events
Uh,
that they have.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I went to one yesterday, and
Mhm,
yeah, so that's like my thing. But I was like, you know what? Let me go home. Let me like see my family. Let me like recover like 100%. And then once that's all over, I can come back again. So yeah, it kind of. I'm grateful that it didn't happen when I was at school. I'm like
yeah,
super grateful.
yeah,
Um, But yeah, shortly afterwards, that's when it did happen. So like, yeah, this year's just been a little bit difficult for me, but
Yeah.
you know, hopefully I'll bounce back soon.
Yeah, because what's really important a lot of times, I think sometimes we get so caught up in like everything else in the world that sometimes we forget about ourselves. I think it's a great thing to take a year or however long you need to take to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of people they just go back into it and they just keep forgetting about themselves and then something worse ends up happening. Um, but I know for me, I've learned that that was the important thing. Like you always have to take care of your home matters first, which is yourself,
Yeah.
before you can be able to go out and create more art. And then, the time that you take, maybe you can create other art within that. But it's not gonna slow you down. It's not a setback. It's just something new that now you have to prioritize and keep in mind. Um, but yeah, um, what does success look like to you in the next 5 to 10 years?
Good question. Well, hopefully I can just use what I just said as a testimony.
Yeah,
Um, because yeah, it has been challenging. Like I'm still going through the process right now, but
yeah,
it's been challenging. But um, because it's annoying when you just graduated and you know you had a great day. Friends and family come out to support you, and like you succeeded in your masters, and you know, so you feel like okay, cool. Like the next thing I'm gonna do is like make movies, make
yeah,
films, and be successful.
yeah,
And then this happened. So, you know, it's not like you said, it's not a setback. It's just more
yeah.
like you know, just have to reevaluate everything. But for me, success, I'll say this: the number one thing I want people to come like once I'm gone from this world, um, I want people to remember me, just to remember me. Um, Mainly just for my work. I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't want
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
like if I'm gonna be a celebrity, it's more like me being more like a Steven Spielberg
Mhm,
or Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? Like people know their name for their work, but you
mhm.
don't know their personal life. And so that's what I'm trying to avoid. I just wanna just make my art, make my movies, tell a story,
Yeah,
inspire other people to see what I see. And I just want to create conversations.
yeah.
And I think I kind of did that in my last film.
Mhm,
And so in when I made Love Me, um, the professors was like sending people in and out
mhm,
within like 5 or 10 minutes, saying that you passed or you didn't pass. You know what I mean? Like you made a film, good job. Me and my producer, we went in there and we were in there for probably 25 minutes
mhm,
because they they liked the film, they liked what they saw,
mhm,
but they all had their own version of the ending. And
mhm,
so one professor said, "Oh, it should have ended like this." And then the other professor jumped in and said, "No, it should have ended like that." And then another
mhm.
one was like, "No,
Yeah,
no, this is how it should have ended." And
mhm.
when I mean they were all arguing, like my film makes sense. It's not like random. It's
Yeah.
just more like it's not a it's not like I wanted like a make it ending like I don't know if you've seen Inception with
Mhm. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like you know how the top is spinning at the end and people
Yeah.
having a conversation like,
Mhm,
was he awake? Was he no, was he still dreaming? And so I
mhm,
wanted my film to be like this, like when he answers, I'm not trying to spoil it, but
mhm,
he needs to make an important phone call and he's trying to make a decision like what's more important
mhm.
and and everyone will say like, you know, he should have answered it, he should not have answered it, he should have went this way, he should have went that way. I don't know, I was just like, look, they was arguing for so long. Me and my producer was just, we were just looking at each other, and we were just smiling. We was like, I was like, yo, we did it, like, we did it, man, we did it. So, I feel like if I can like still make films and content like that, that people can go home and have a conversation about, and you know, have a different worldview of their surroundings and upbringing or whatever. Just conversation. I feel like that will be positive, and that's what I want to be remembered for that.
Okay, all right. And then how can people support you?
So just sharing this video is more than enough. I'm not really stressed out about anything. I would just say, listen, like if you guys want to pay for my medical fees, that'll be awesome. But apart from that, if you guys can't do that, then just share this video and just and just tell them about my story, and that'll be it.
Yeah. We all have our own legacies, and
Yeah,
so
for sure.
this has been a great interview. A great interview. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this episode. It's been really nice talking to you, RJ. And yeah, we'll catch y'all on the next episode.